the whiskey ambassador side of things. So how does a guy become the whiskey ambassador for Heaven Hill? Like, is that a job? Well, of course, it's not a job you see on Indeed, of course. So what is the process of being able to get that role and be able to function the way you do it?
Sure. Well, I kind of helped create and establish the role back in 2006.
Oh, right.
So the only ambassadors that were in the bourbon industry back then was folks that were actual distillers of the brands or family owners or family members of the original owners and that. So folks like Bill Samuels, Rob Samuels, Fred Noe, folks that were the actual, Jimmy Russell, Lincoln Henderson. They were the ambassadors as well, and because we were kind of late to the table. There wasn't a resurgence in bourbon until around 2006 or 7 or 8.
Yeah.
So before that, it was kind of depressed.
Yeah.
So the Scotch ambassadors were pretty well known, but there came a need, as we saw in 2006 and 7, and for that. So I became one of the first 3 ambassadors at Jim Beam that was not a distiller or family member.
Wow.
Didn't realize that till a few years later. It might have scared me off of doing it. But so I had another role. I was doing events and promotions in the state of Kentucky for Jim Beam.
Okay.
And then the brand manager for Knob Creek and the Small Batch, she liked the way I presented things and talked about words on labels, and
nice.
People weren't talking about the laws and the standards of identity and bottle and bond and straight and Kentucky and whiskey. So she liked the way I did that. So she approached me and 2 other gentlemen, and we became the first ambassadors because Fred Noe, who was the ambassador, as well as a distiller, his picture, you need timing and good luck too, Stefan,
Okay.
For things to really come into place.
Timing matters.
Right, it sure helps. And so his picture was going on the side of the Jim Beam label as a 7th generation distiller. So he was going to be busy for the next year going around the world talking about Jim Beam, and they needed somebody to be talking about Knob Creek and the Small Batch. So it kind of worked out good. And then when I got in the role, it had never been done before by folks. So we did things a little bit differently, and we talked about, again, the words on labels, things like that. And that got us some recognition. And then in 2012, Heaven Hill was gonna expand that role and as a whiskey ambassador. So they approached me, and the gentleman that was doing that position, he was, this job is very demanding on your time and traveling and all that. So he had small children at home. So he transitioned to another role at Heaven Hill. And then I went in as the ambassador, and I've been there for coming up on 13 years now.